Hey everybody, Peter Green coming to you with your daily dose of Agile. Today is Thursday, and on Thursday we talk about building the right thing. And today I want to share a quick overview of a framework that we use in a lot of contexts. Usually it's in a leadership or in a culture context where an organization is trying to thrive and balance how they are approaching things. Today we're going to talk about it in the context of building the right thing. And the framework is called the Competing Values Framework. Now, this is several authors co-authored this, developed this model. Robert Quinn, Kim Cameron, among the leaders of that group. And it's a 2x2 matrix that talks about different things that individuals and organizations might value. On the bottom, it's kind of 2x2. So if you picture bottom left, the bottom left on the model is about control. About predictability and stability and efficiency. The bottom right of the model is called compete. That's about the market, doing things quickly. Both of those are about creating stability in an organization. How are we going to thrive over the long term? So those are the bottom two. Top two quadrants. On the left-hand side, we have what's called collaborate. Collaborate is about doing things together, about taking care of each other, working together. And then on the upper right, we have create, and that's about doing new things, innovating. Both of these are about flexibility. So the top two are about flexibility, bottom two about stability, control and compete. On the left side, collaborate and control. These are both about things that we do internally, about how we work internally. And the right-hand side are both about things we do externally, create and compete. So that's the framework, and as we've talked about in previous videos, these represent polarities, especially on the diagonals of this axis. So control and create, you can see some polarities there, that those can feel like opposite ends of a spectrum, and collaborate and compete can feel like opposite ends of the spectrum. So check out that video we did on polarities for more about that. But we use this to help organizations better balance those competing values, hence the name, the Competing Values Framework. I want to talk about it in the context of building the right thing, and specifically in the midst of challenging times. Right now, depending on when you're watching this, we shot this on April 2nd of 2020, right in the middle of the shelter-in-place movement in the world due to the coronavirus COVID-19 pandemic. And so that's causing a lot of business owners, a lot of product owners, a lot of businesses to re-examine how their business is working due to essentially the crash in the market that's happening around this as the market tanks. Some might say resets, right? The bubble bursts here. And so an example for me is that my favorite of the four quadrants is the create quadrant. I really love to make new things. I've actually really loved spending time over the last few weeks creating new online, in-person, live online courses, remote courses. I've thrived in that. I've loved spending time doing that. What I've needed to do and had to focus and get help from teammates to focus on is do better control. Financial control, efficiency, things like that are not in my normal wheelhouse. And so this is an example of a polarity for me between create and control, where I really needed to balance my create with more control, or I would run out of money. Our business would run out of money. You might find this in your organization as well with your product, is that if you're building new features, and not figuring out business efficiency, then you might be hurting yourself. Now, I can imagine other people having the opposite challenge during a time like this, where maybe somebody that really values control and efficiency is having to struggle to go out and create and make new things as the needs of the market change. And so it's not like there's one of these that's better than the other. It's just whatever your personal style is, whatever your personal habits and values are, you might need to stretch outside of that during a challenge like this. So that's the Competing Values Framework. There's lots more written on this, several good books on it. We'll link to a few of those in the show notes. Hopefully it's been helpful for you to think about how you might broaden your capability to thrive in really challenging times like these by looking across from your favorite quadrant in the Competing Values Framework. If you enjoyed the video, go ahead and share it with a friend, like the video, subscribe to our channel. We'd love to have you aware of all the things that we're sharing on the channel. And hopefully you'll have a great week. Thanks, everybody.